Yes, there it goes there, that's nice. There. There's the support activated there. So the bones of the feet, whoa, they're going in all directions now.
Good, yeah.
Fully supported by the table. And now that support can start to travel up, you see, through there and through there from the heel, so that it's going through the ankle joint. So you get a sense of the ankle joint there. And so support now is travelling through the bones of the ankle joints to fully support the bones of the lower legs, and we're principally talking about the shin bones. So then I do that.
That sort of connects up, doesn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
And so the instruction to Graham is that there's the shin bones fully supported by the foot bones. So that, there we are. And you notice, as you're talking about support, you are actually getting a release. Because it's organising itself.
Right.
Yeah? But we're not talking about muscles, we're talking about support, we're talking about bones. But the muscles are saying, oh, if that's what you want, I'll organise myself, so that's what you get. So this is good, isn't it?
Yeah.
You're really stopping the interference to support. Sometimes when you're working with people, when you're here, you instantly feel that release. It starts now because the organisation has carried on up to the hip joint. Sometimes you don't get that. So I just wait until I get it. And then I can point out, yeah, there it is. Okay, so now you're at the top. I always point this out to my pupils that there's the top of the shin bone. Can you feel these two little... And that is approximately the width of it. So, and it's flat at the top. And it's flat so that you can support the knuckle of the thigh bone. How convenient. And you see now I can feel that release happening there. So I'm able to kind of just do that. And I will point that out to my pupils, say, there you are. You see, there's that release happening in the hip joint. There's support coming through the greater trochanter, somewhere around about there. Not quite sure. Somewhere around about there. And of course, the force of support is going inwards to the hip joint, which is in the groin, through the hip joint to the inner rim of the pelvis, and around. There we are, to the sacrum. And it's going there, isn't it?
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah. So you're not doing any pressure or anything. It's
No.
It's just your thought.
Purely directing and inhibiting. Yeah. And so there's the sacrum there, fully supported by the pelvis. From that front ledge of the sacrum, you see, it can start to travel up, and it's in the middle of the body. It's travelling up through the vertebra, and so I can just sort of place my hands here and tell my pupils where to direct their thinking. There it is there with Graham. I'm getting a little bob up through the spine. That's it, and there's the hip going there, the hip joint's going there. That's it, and then you can monitor it from up here, that it's... Yeah, and it's interesting, isn't it? I'm still holding on here to kind of direct.
Yeah.
I didn't realise I did that, so I'm here on the side of the chest. There we are. Yes. And you'll find if you come up through the neck, and it is dead centre of in volume of this cylinder, the bit of the spine that we're aiming for is dead centre there. It's coming up, all the way up. See, there's the top of the spine there. That's approximately the width of it. Runs between these two bony bits behind the ear. There we are, Graham, that's lovely. That's about as good as it gets. There. But I think, let's think about the hands. Okay, so it's the bones again. You see, there's these long rays. And it's okay to kind of brush the skin to bring your awareness there, that the hands are fully supported. And it's the thought, there we are, and that support is transferring itself through, there we are, the bones of the wrist joints, and he said ankle joints there, I'm really thinking four-legged, to fully support the bones of the forearm, but we're principally thinking about this one on the little finger side, the ulnar.
See, I think I would be tempted to use a lot more pressure than you, but yeah. And I think perhaps Anna's using it a little bit more.
I'm using more than Stephanie.
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
So
it seems really clear without any pressure. It is really clear.
Is this?
I know I'm going to be the same. I'm going to use it.
So
have I reduced the pressure?
Yeah.
So now you see the support can transfer. See, that's the bone that comes the little finger side. Then these two little outer bones there is the upper arm. So that can transfer through. And I've where I can reach, I've got a thumb actually on. I've got a thumb on that bit on that bit there, and I've got that finger on there. So I've got the joint covered. Is that okay?
I can feel Stephanie's arms really clearly. I can feel where you are.
Well, I've been working in this way for 12 years. Oh my God, 12 years. So,
right.
And I was trained like this, so I have got a very clear direction. And if you have got it clear,
sure.
Yeah, if you have got it clear, then it is a very clear direction, isn't it?
Yeah.
And there's the joint that it makes with the scapula. Can you see? I can just slide my hand under there. Whatever your pupil gives you there. Don't disturb the joint in any way, but you can just kind of hook your hand, and I've actually got my middle finger hooked around that joint, haven't I? And the rest of it, there's my palm of my hand.
Are we in the same place?
Yeah.
Right.
And so there's support coming through the bone of the upper arm to fully support the scapula, the shoulder blade. There we are, Graham. There. You see? Yes.
It's beautiful.
And if you dare, you can allow your shoulders to float. There it goes there.
I'm doing the wrong hand. That's what's happening here.
Well, you're just standing at a different angle, but
this makes sense to me.
yes, and there it goes, it's floating. Yes?
Yeah.
And that takes the drag off your ribs, off your spine. And so you can come back to the spine here. And tell yourself you're being helped in support here now by your front legs as well as your hind legs. There it is there. And then that goes up through the spine to the skull. Do you want to put a hand there, Anna? He should be zinging through there by now.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah, he's really cooking. Okay. Now, what I'm going to do is just put a hand there, and I'm going to ask Graham to think about his coccyx. So I'm going to monitor whether he's got it, and then get you back to kind of so make sure that Graham's got it. So, Graham, think about your tail, right the way down at the base of the spine, lower even, hooking under. There we are, it's literally the tail between your legs. And it's making that connection through pelvic floor to the pubic bone. Let's give that a thought. There we are there. There. Yes. Okay, so if you could show Anna what you've done there. Okay, so think about your tail. It really is literally the tail between your legs. It's hooking under. That's it, it's got it there. And it's just a direction. Now you can afford to release that wide band of rectus abdominis. And I tend to put my hand either side there. Like yes, and hook over. And then just ask my pupil to release up to sternum with the tail. There we are.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you see, and that takes that release up to the top notch of the sternum, and then you can put your hands back to monitor the release of the sternocleidomastoid muscle. So there we are, the tail connected under, there's that release. And that's it in a nutshell.